Hello my friends, Dr. Mandell here. Today I'm going to share something very powerful with you, especially if you're over 60, 70, or even 80 years old and worried about losing muscle. You've all been told for decades that eggs are the gold standard of protein. And yes, eggs are good, but what if I told you there's a food that's cheaper, easier to digest, and builds muscle just as well, if not better, even in your senior years? Let's really dive into something that I believe can change the way you look at nutrition, muscle health, and aging. We've all been told over and over again that eggs are the ultimate protein food. They've been called the gold standard, the perfect protein, the number one choice for building and repairing muscles. And yes, eggs do have their benefits. I'm not here to tell you that they're bad, but here's the truth that doesn't get talked about enough. There is another food that can fuel your body with high quality protein, keep your digestion happy, give you additional health benefits, and do it at a fraction of the cost. That food is lentils. Now some of you might be thinking, lentils, really? That's just a poor man's food. And that's exactly why I want you to listen carefully, because sometimes the simplest, cheapest, most overlooked foods are the ones that give us the most powerful results. Lentils are one of those miracle foods, especially for those of us in our golden years. 1 cup of cooked lentils has about 18 grams of protein. That's almost the same as 3 whole eggs. But here's where lentils shine. They're loaded with fiber, virtually free of cholesterol, low in fat, and packed with micronutrients like iron, magnesium, and potassium. And unlike many protein foods that sit heavy in your stomach, lentils are easy to digest and work beautifully with your body. This means you're not only getting protein to build your muscles, but you're also getting nutrients that help your heart, regulate your blood pressure, improve your circulation, and balance your blood sugar. That's a package deal you simply don't get from eggs alone. Now let's talk about digestion. As we get older, one of the big challenges our bodies face is that we don't break down and absorb nutrients the same way we did when we were in our 20s or 30s. Our stomach acid tends to weaken, our enzymes aren't as strong, and sometimes heavy animal proteins can sit in the stomach like a rock. That leaves us feeling bloated, sluggish, and uncomfortable. When you eat foods like lentils, your digestive system doesn't have to work as hard. You absorb the amino acids more efficiently, and you get the added benefit of fiber, which keeps everything moving smoothly through the intestines. That's why so many people over 60 or 70 notice that they feel lighter, more energetic, and even clearer mentally when they switch from heavy animal proteins to lighter plant proteins like lentils. Here's something else fascinating. The fiber in lentils doesn't just help digestion, it actually helps regulate the way your body uses protein. The fiber feeds the good bacteria in your gut, and those bacteria create short-chain fatty acids that improve your metabolism. In other words, lentils aren't just giving you protein, they're helping your body use that protein more effectively to repair and rebuild muscle tissue. That's something you simply don't get from eggs or meat or dairy. This is why lentils can actually help you build muscle faster, even in your 70s or 80s, when your body's natural ability to hold on to muscle starts to decline. And here's a point I really want to drive home. Lentils are not only about muscles, they're about protecting your overall health. Eggs contain cholesterol, and while moderate egg consumption may be okay for some people, for others, especially those with heart issues, high blood pressure, or cholesterol sensitivity, eating too many eggs can raise risks. Lentils give you the protein without that downside. Instead, they come with heart-protecting nutrients that lower bad cholesterol, improve blood vessel flexibility, and reduce inflammation in the body. This means your muscles get stronger while your heart and circulatory system get healthier. That's a win-win combination for healthy aging. And let's not forget affordability. Many seniors today are on fixed incomes. Eating healthy can feel overwhelming when prices of meat, eggs, and dairy keep climbing. But lentils, a bag of lentils costs very little and can last for several meals. You don't need fancy powders, expensive supplements, or special diets. You just need to bring more of these little powerhouse legumes into your life. You can make a warm soup, add them to salads, mix them with rice, or even blend them into patties. The possibilities are endless, and every serving is giving your body the tools it needs to stay strong, vibrant, and youthful. Now, I know some of you may be wondering, but Dr. Mandell, will lentils really keep me as strong as eggs? Let me tell you something important. Your body doesn't care whether a protein comes from an egg, a piece of chicken, or a lentil. What matters is that your body receives the essential amino acids it needs. Lentils provide most of them, and when combined with a whole grain, they give you all of them. This is called a complete protein. So not only are you matching the power of eggs, you're actually giving your body a more balanced, more sustainable form of nutrition. Think about this. Every time you eat lentils, you're not just feeding your muscles, you're feeding your future. You're fueling your ability to walk without help, to climb stairs without fear, to carry groceries, to play with your grandchildren, to live independently, and to enjoy your life without being limited by weakness or frailty. That's the real power of this simple, humble food. So the next time you're at the store, don't just reach for the carton of eggs. Take a moment to look at the bags of lentils, see them for what they truly are, a natural, affordable, muscle-building, health-protecting gift. They may not look flashy, but they're one of the smartest investments you can make in your health, especially as you age. Remember this, my friends, you're never too old to get stronger. You're never too old to make changes that transform your health. And you're never too old to surprise yourself with what your body is still capable of doing. Lentils can help you unlock that potential. So don't underestimate them. Make them a part of your life and watch the strength, energy, and vitality come back into your body, no matter your age. I want to talk about something that every one of us has either experienced or worried about at some point in life: losing our strength as we get older. I hear it all the time. Dr. Mandell, I'm in my 60s now. I'm slowing down. I'm in my 70s. I can't move like I used to. I'm 80, and I guess weakness just comes with age. And I want you to hear me clearly. Muscle loss is not something that has to control your future. It is not an automatic ticket that comes with aging. You are not destined to be weak, frail, or dependent just because you've added another birthday candle to the cake. Your body has the ability to rebuild muscle even at 60, 70, 80 years old and beyond, if you give it the right care, the right fuel, and the right mindset. We've been conditioned to believe that once you hit a certain age, your best days are behind you. Doctors may tell you, well, you're just getting older when you complain about weakness, balance issues, or difficulty standing up from a chair. But I want you to know that much of that is preventable. Yes, it's true that as we age, our body produces less growth hormone, our testosterone and estrogen levels change, and our cells don't regenerate as quickly as when we were younger. But that doesn't mean your body stops responding to good nutrition, to movement, and to protein. In fact, your muscles are always waiting for you to give them a reason to grow. Think about this. Your body is constantly breaking down and rebuilding muscle tissue. Every single day, old muscle fibers are torn down and new ones are built up. That process doesn't stop at 60, it doesn't stop at 70, and it doesn't stop at 80. What changes is how efficiently the body uses the protein you eat. It's called anabolic resistance. That means your body isn't as quick to take the protein from your food and turn it into muscle as it did when you were younger. But here's the beautiful part. You can overcome anabolic resistance with the right foods and the right timing. When you eat high-quality protein sources, especially ones that are easy to digest and rich in essential amino acids, you stimulate a process in the body called muscle protein synthesis. That's just a fancy term for building new muscle. And studies show that older adults who eat enough protein, spread it out evenly across their meals, and pair it with simple resistance exercises, can build muscle just like younger adults. Did you hear that? Just like younger adults. That means if you're 70 or 80, you can still walk stronger, stand taller, and feel more stable on your feet. Now let's talk about the consequences of not paying attention to muscle loss. When you lose muscle, you lose more than just strength. You lose independence. You lose the ability to do the simple things. Carry groceries, get up from the floor, climb stairs, even maintain good balance. Muscle isn't just about looking good or feeling strong. It's about protecting your bones, supporting your joints, and keeping your metabolism alive and active. Without enough muscle, your risk of falls goes up. Your bones become more vulnerable. Your blood sugar rises. your body fat increases. And that can lead to diabetes, heart disease, and a cascade of other health issues. But here's the hopeful message. You can reverse that decline. You can stop muscle loss and rebuild what you've already lost. I've seen it happen again and again. Seniors who thought their best years were gone, who believed weakness was their destiny, started eating more protein-rich foods like lentils, beans, nuts, seeds, and lean animal sources. And within weeks to months, they noticed their energy return, their posture improve, their ability to move around without fear come back. They didn't need to lift heavy weights in the gym. Simple body weight exercises, walking, stretching, and nourishing their body with the right foods made the difference. And don't underestimate the power of mindset. If you believe you're too old to get stronger, you've already lost the battle. But if you believe your body is capable of growth at any age, and science proves that it is, you open the door for transformation. When I look into the eyes of an 80-year-old who says, "Dr. Mandell, I never thought I'd feel this good again," it reminds me that age is not the problem. The problem is neglecting to give your muscles the protein, the movement, and the care they deserve. Think of muscle as your body's reserve tank of energy. The more muscle you maintain, the more protected you are against illness, injury, and weakness. And this is why I say with passion, don't accept muscle loss as your fate. You have the power to fight it. You have the power to rebuild. Even if you've been inactive for years, even if you've been told by others that it's too late, even if you've been carrying pain or stiffness, there is always something you can do. Start with one meal, add more protein. Start with one exercise. Move your body a little more each day. These small steps trigger big changes over time. And let me add one more thing. Many people ask me, Dr. Mandell, is it safe for someone in their 70s or 80s to start trying to build muscle? And the answer is absolutely yes. As long as you listen to your body, start slow and be consistent. Your body is waiting for you to challenge it. Muscles are built by stress and recovery. When you use them, they adapt. When you feed them, they grow. When you ignore them, they shrink. Which path do you want to choose? So here's my encouragement for you. Don't let a number define your strength. 60, 70, 80, they're just numbers. What really matters is how you live, how you fuel your body, and how you move every single day. Every bite of protein-rich food you eat is a message to your muscles. Stay strong. Don't give up. Every time you take a walk, stretch your arms, or do a squat, you're telling your body, I still need you. Keep working. And every time you remind yourself that it's never too late, you're building not just muscle, but confidence, resilience, and independence. So remember, my friends, muscle loss is not your destiny. Building strength at any age is possible. Believe in your body, give it the right nutrition, and never stop moving. Your future self will thank you. I want to share something with you that can truly change the way you think about protein and muscle health as you age. Many people believe that in order to build strong muscles, you need to eat meat, fish, or eggs. But I want you to understand something very important. Your body doesn't care where the protein comes from. What it cares about is getting all the essential amino acids it needs to build and repair muscle. And here's the secret. You don't need animal protein to get them. You can create a complete, powerful protein right in your kitchen using simple, affordable plant-based foods like lentils combined with whole grains such as rice or quinoa. Let me explain why this matters so much, especially as you get older. Proteins are made up of building blocks called amino acids. There are 20 in total, and 9 of them are essential, meaning your body cannot make them on its own. You must get them from your diet. Animal proteins like eggs, meat, and dairy naturally contain all 9 of these essential amino acids, which is why people often call them complete proteins. On the other hand, most plant-based proteins are incomplete, meaning they're missing 1 or 2 of those essential building blocks. For example, lentils are very high in certain amino acids but lower in others. But when you combine lentils with grains like rice or quinoa, something incredible happens. You complete the puzzle. Together, they form a protein that has all 9 essential amino acids, making it just as effective for muscle building as any animal protein. Think about it like this. Imagine your muscles are a wall you're trying to build. Each amino acid is like a different kind of brick. You need all the bricks to build a strong, solid wall. If you're missing a few, the wall is weak. Lentils give you many of those bricks, and rice or quinoa give you the ones that are missing. When you put them together, you suddenly have everything you need to build a strong, stable wall of muscle in your body. That's the beauty of combining plant proteins. Now, why is this especially important for people in their 60s, 70s, and 80s? Because as we age, our bodies become less efficient at using the protein we eat. That means we need to be more intentional about not just eating enough protein, but eating the right kind. If you rely only on one source, you might be shortchanging yourself. But when you combine lentils and grains, you're giving your body the full package and you're making it easier for your muscles to grow, repair, and stay strong. And let me remind you, this isn't about looking like a bodybuilder. This is about keeping your independence, preventing falls, staying balanced, protecting your joints, and having the strength to do the things you love. Every time you sit down and stand back up, that's a squat. Every time you carry groceries, that's strength training. Every time you walk up a flight of stairs, that's resistance for your muscles. And the protein you eat determines how well your muscles can adapt and keep supporting you through all these everyday movements. I've worked with countless seniors who thought their days of getting stronger were over. They believed muscle was only for the young. But when they started including meals with lentils and whole grains, when they understood that these simple, inexpensive foods were giving them the same complete protein as expensive meats, something changed. Within weeks, they felt more energy. Within months, they noticed their posture improving, their legs feeling stronger, and their stamina increasing. It wasn't magic. It was science. It was the power of complete protein. Let's talk about rice for a moment. Rice is often dismissed as just a filler food, but when paired with lentils, it becomes transformative. Rice provides amino acids that lentils lack, and lentils provide amino acids that rice is missing. Together, they make a balanced, nourishing meal that supports your muscles, your brain, and your digestion. And if you want to take it a step further, try quinoa. Quinoa is already a complete protein on its own, but when combined with lentils, you supercharge the benefits. You're giving your body an abundance of the essential amino acids it needs to thrive. And I know some of you may be wondering, Dr. Mandell, can this really make that big of a difference at my age? And my answer is absolutely yes. Because building muscle isn't just about the gym or lifting weights, it's about what you feed your body. You can do light exercises, gentle stretches, or even simple movements at home, but if you're not giving your muscles the right building blocks, you won't see the results. By creating complete proteins with lentils and grains, you're ensuring that your body has every tool it needs to repair and strengthen those muscles, no matter how old you are. And here's something else I love about this combination. It's affordable and accessible. You don't have to spend a fortune on expensive cuts of meat or rely on costly supplements. A bag of lentils and a bag of rice can feed you for days. This is food that has been nourishing cultures around the world for centuries, keeping people strong, healthy, and active well into old age. It's not a new fad. It's ancient wisdom backed by modern science. When you sit down to a bowl of lentils and rice, you're not just eating, you're investing in your strength, your balance, and your independence. You're telling your body, I'm not done yet. I still need these muscles. I still need this energy. I still need this life. That mindset, combined with the right nutrition, can do wonders. So the next time you think you need an egg or a steak to build muscle, I want you to remember this truth. Your muscles don't care where the protein comes from. What matters is that they get all the amino acids they need. Lentils with rice, lentils with quinoa, lentils with other whole grains. These combinations are nature's way of giving you complete protein without the cholesterol, without the heaviness, without the expense. My friends, you're never too old to benefit from this. Whether you're 60, 70, or 80 years old, your muscles are listening to you. Feed them the right foods. Give them the right signals. Combine lentils with grains and you will feel the difference in your strength, your energy, and your life. I want to talk about something that really hits home for so many people, especially as we get older, how to eat healthy on a budget. You've probably noticed how the prices of food keep going up. Eggs cost more, meat costs more, fish costs more, and even dairy products are taking a bigger bite out of your wallet. For many seniors living on a fixed income, trying to get enough protein to keep your body strong can feel overwhelming. But here's the good news. You don't need to spend a fortune to fuel your muscles and protect your health. The truth is, one of the most powerful muscle building foods in the world is also one of the cheapest and most accessible, and that's lentils. Now let's really think about this. For the price of a dozen eggs, which gives you maybe 2 or 3 servings of protein a day, you can buy a bag of lentils that will last for multiple meals, feeding you and your family with nutrient-rich protein over and over again. That means no more worrying about whether you can afford the good protein everyone talks about. You already have it right there in those tiny little legumes. One of the challenges I see with so many people is this idea that being healthy costs too much. We've been marketed into believing that we need expensive powders, protein shakes, supplements, and fancy diet programs in order to stay strong. But the body doesn't care about the price tag. It only cares about the nutrients. And when you give it protein from lentils, along with fiber, iron, potassium, magnesium, and B vitamins, it thrives. That means you can rebuild muscle, keep your blood sugar stable, lower your cholesterol, and protect your digestion, all without breaking the bank. Here's something else to think about. When we talk about affordable nutrition, we're not just talking about saving money, we're talking about accessibility. There are people in cities, towns, and rural areas who may not have access to fresh meat or fish on a regular basis. But lentils are available almost everywhere. They store easily, they don't spoil quickly, and they don't require refrigeration. That makes them a perfect staple for seniors who may not get to the store every few days or who don't want to worry about food going bad in the refrigerator. You can keep a bag of lentils in your pantry for months, knowing that you have a reliable source of protein ready whenever you need it. Let's also talk about preparation. Many people believe healthy eating is complicated or time-consuming. But lentils are one of the easiest foods you can make. You don't need to marinate them, you don't need to fry them, and you don't need fancy recipes. You just simmer them in water, add a few herbs or spices, and you have a meal that's nourishing, filling, and muscle building. You can make a simple soup, a stew, a salad topper, or even a warm side dish in less than half an hour. And the beauty is that every serving is feeding your muscles with the protein they need to keep you strong. Now I know some of you may be saying, but Dr. Mandell, I've eaten meat my whole life. Can something as simple as lentils really do the job? And my answer is yes, because it's not about being fancy, it's about being consistent. Every meal you eat is either feeding your muscles or starving them. Every bite you take is either giving your body the building blocks it needs or leaving it deficient. And the consistency of adding lentils into your daily routine, even just a cup a day, can be life-changing over time. It's not about one magical food, it's about what you do every single day. And here's where I want to motivate you. I don't want you to feel discouraged because you can't afford certain foods. I don't want you to think health is only for those with deep pockets. That is not true. Health is for everyone. Strength is for everyone. Longevity is for everyone. And lentils are proof of that. They are inexpensive yet powerful. They are humble yet life-changing. They remind us that nature provides everything we need to stay healthy if we just take advantage of it. Now let's look at the bigger picture. If you rely heavily on expensive proteins, you may feel the need to ration them, eat less, or skip them altogether when money is tight. That means your muscles miss out. But if you base your meals around lentils, beans, and other affordable plant proteins, you can eat generous portions without worrying about cost. That means you're feeding your body consistently day after day, which is the key to stopping muscle loss and building strength. And don't forget the emotional side of this. Food stress is real. Worrying about how much you spend at the grocery store creates anxiety. That stress alone can weaken your immune system and drain your energy. But when you know that you have a bag of lentils sitting in your kitchen, affordable, reliable, and ready to nourish you, that stress disappears. Instead, you feel empowered, you feel secure, you know you can keep your body strong without worrying about the price of every bite. Here's a perspective that I think will help. Imagine you're 75 years old, you've been told muscle loss is inevitable, that weakness is normal, and that you should just accept it. But instead, you decide to take control. You buy a few bags of lentils, cook them regularly, and make them a central part of your meals. Over time, your energy starts to improve. You feel steadier on your feet. You notice your legs don't tire as quickly when you climb the stairs. You start standing taller, walking with more confidence, and realizing that you are not powerless against aging. And the best part, you did it without emptying your wallet. That's the kind of transformation I want you to believe in. So my friends, remember this: healthy eating doesn't need to be complicated, and it doesn't need to be expensive. Lentils are proof that you can build muscle, protect your health, and feel strong at any age without straining your budget. Don't let anyone tell you that health is out of reach. The tools are already in your hands. Start with one bowl of lentils, one simple meal, and build from there. Over time, you'll discover that strength, independence, and vitality are not luxuries. They're your birthright. I want to close this powerful message with something that goes beyond nutrition, beyond protein, and even beyond muscle. Because at the heart of everything we've been talking about, the foods, the amino acids, the strength, the rebuilding, there's one thing that holds it all together: motivation. And if you've followed me for a while, you know that I believe motivation is just as important as the food you put on your plate or the exercises you do for your body. Without it, nothing else will stick. With it, everything changes. So let's talk about why this message matters. If you're in your 60s, 70s, or even 80s, you may have moments where you think, it's too late for me, my body's too old, I've lost too much muscle, I don't have the energy, I'll just accept what comes. And I want to tell you from my heart, that way of thinking will rob you of your strength, your independence, and your joy. The truth is, you are capable of more than you believe. Your body is designed to adapt at every age. Your muscles don't stop responding just because of a number on your birthday cake. What matters is what you feed them, how you move them, and how much you believe in yourself. I want you to imagine this for a moment. Picture yourself a year from now. You've decided not to give up. You've decided to make small, consistent changes. You've started eating more protein, maybe a bowl of lentils and rice a few times a week. You've added gentle movements into your day, walking, stretching, maybe even a few light exercises with your own body weight. And little by little, your body starts to change. You notice it when you climb the stairs. You notice it when you get out of a chair. You notice it when you walk across the room without needing support. You feel stronger, more confident, more alive. And here's the best part: you realize it was never too late. You realize the power was always inside you. You just had to unlock it. This is the message I want you to carry with you. Age is not your enemy. Weakness is not your destiny. Frailty is not unavoidable. Those are just stories society tells us, stories we sometimes start believing because we hear them so often. But let me remind you, people are building strength, rebuilding muscle, and reclaiming their health well into their 80s and 90s. I've seen it. I've met them. I've heard their stories. And if they can do it, so can you. Now let's be real. Motivation doesn't mean you'll feel like doing it every single day. There will be mornings when you wake up tired, when you look in the mirror and doubt yourself, when you wonder if it's even worth it. That's when I want you to remember this: every choice you make compounds. Every healthy meal you eat, every step you take, every time you choose to take care of yourself, it all adds up. You don't need to be perfect, you just need to be consistent. And consistency comes from reminding yourself of your why. Why do you want to stay strong? Is it so you can live independently? Is it so you can play with your grandchildren? Is it so you can travel, walk freely, or simply get out of bed in the morning without pain? Hold on to that why. Because when the days get hard, your why will carry you through. And let's talk about independence for a moment. One of the greatest fears I hear from seniors is losing independence. Nobody wants to rely on others to bathe them, to dress them, to carry them. But do you know what protects your independence more than almost anything else? Muscle. The ability to get up from a chair, the ability to lift your arms, the ability to walk steadily without falling. These are things we take for granted until they're gone. And that's why motivation is so critical, because the small choices you make today determine whether you'll keep that independence tomorrow. So I also want to remind you of something very powerful: the human spirit. You are stronger than you think. Your body is resilient, but your mind is even more powerful. When you tell yourself, I can't, your body listens. When you tell yourself, I'm too old, your body listens. But when you say, I can do this, I will do this, I am not giving up, your body listens to that too, and it responds. It rises to meet your belief. That is the beauty of being human. My friends, you don't need to climb mountains to prove your strength. You don't need to run marathons. Strength is built in the little victories, the walk you take when you could have sat, the healthy meal you choose when you could have skipped it, the exercise you try when you could have said, not today. Those little victories stack up, and before you know it, you've transformed your life. So here's my challenge to you. Never stop believing in yourself. Never stop pushing just a little bit further. Never stop reminding yourself that your best days can still be ahead of you. Because when you fuel your body with the right foods, when you feed your muscles the protein they crave, and when you keep your mind focused and motivated, you create a future that's strong, vibrant, and full of possibility. I want you to hear me one more time. It's not too late. You are not too old. Your body is not finished. As long as you are breathing, there is room for growth. There is room for strength. There is room for change. Motivation is the spark. And once that spark is lit, your body, your mind, and your spirit will carry it forward. So take this message to heart. Remind yourself daily that you are capable, you are strong, and you are worth the effort. Your muscles will thank you, your heart will thank you, your family will thank you, and most importantly, you will thank yourself